Good morning, children. Welcome to your SST class. Today we will learn lesson 2 of geography, latitudes and longitudes. We will learn about the earth, its shape and size, how the globe is a useful tool for presentation of our planet Earth, what are the imaginary lines, latitudes and longitudes, which are the important parallels and different heat zones on the Earth, how the meridians or longitudes help us in locating places on the globe and calculating time on the Earth. So, we will learn about all these contents in this chapter today. Children, as you know, the earth is spherical in shape, though it is not a perfect sphere. But the pictures of the earth taken by astronauts clearly show that it is slightly bulging at the equator and flattened at the poles. Bulging at the equator means it is slightly bulging at the equator, and see, it is little flattened at the poles. While the diameter of the earth at equator, that is equatorial diameter, is 12,756 kilometer, the polar diameter is 44 kilometer less, that is 12,712 kilometer. Because of this, our earth looks like an orange. Now, globe is a useful representation of the earth. It is the model of the earth. The spherical shape of the earth is best represented by a globe, which is a three-dimensional model of the earth. Three-dimensional means it shows the whole earth. As you can see in the picture, the axis of the globe is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degree to its vertical. So the axis is tilted at a 23.5 degree to its vertical because the earth is also actually tilted at this angle. Now axis means imaginary lines on which the earth spins or rotates. You know, earth rotates on its axis from west to east, and two ends of the axis are called North Pole and South Pole. Earlier, it was very difficult to carry globes around, but now they can be folded and inflated. Inflated means they can be filled with air, and so this way they can be easily carried around. Now, as the globe is fitted in the stand in the same way as the earth is tilted on its axis, so it represents the correct shape of the earth and help to understand how days and nights and seasons are caused. It shows the correct size and shape of different continents and oceans. It can show relief features like mountains, plateaus, and plains, etc. Relief feature means highest and lowest elevation points in an area, like mountains are highest elevation points, while valleys or other low lying areas are lowest points. Above all, the imaginary lines, that is, parallels and meridians, drawn on the globe help us to find the exact location of a place. Now, what are these imaginary lines, that is, parallels and meridians? Children, you can see two sets of lines drawn on the globe. One set is drawn horizontally, that is, from west to east. They are called parallels of latitudes. The other set is drawn vertically from north to south. These lines are called meridians of longitudes. Now let's learn more about parallels and meridians. Now parallels of latitudes are the imaginary lines that run from west to east. So they are called parallels of latitudes. The latitudes is the angular distance of a place north or south of equator, measured from the center of the earth. Lines of latitude are imaginary lines running horizontally between two poles. They are also called parallel because they are at equal distance from each other, and so they never meet. As you can see, all these latitudes are at equal distance from each other. So they never meet because they are parallel to each other. The equator is the most important latitude. It is the 0 degree latitude and it is the largest latitude. It is important because it is the exact center of the earth. It is also called the Great Circle as it divides the earth into two halves, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. All parallels of latitude are not equal in length. As we move close to the poles, the circles keep getting smaller. In fact, they look like dots on the North Pole and South Pole. As you can also see, as the equator is the largest latitude, but as we move towards the poles, and it just look like dot at North Pole, and their size is getting smaller as we are moving towards the poles. Now, how these latitudes are measured? Now, degrees of latitude are numbered from 0 degree to 90 degree north and south. 0 degree to 90 degree north and south. Equator is 0 degree latitude. It is neither north nor south. There are 90 lines of latitude in northern hemisphere and 90 lines in southern hemisphere. The north pole is marked as 90 degree N and south pole as 90 degree S. Children, it's very important to write N or S after the degree of latitude to describe its location as whether it is towards north or south. Now let's learn what are the important parallels. Now as we already know, the equator represents 0 degree latitude. It is the largest latitude. North pole is 90 degree N and south pole is 90 degree S latitude. Beside these, there are some other important parallels also. Number one is Tropic of Cancer. This Tropic of Cancer is the 23.5 degree north latitude in the northern hemisphere. Now Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn is 23.5 degree latitude in the southern hemisphere. Arctic Circle lies at 66.5 degree in the northern hemisphere, and Antarctic Circle lies at 66.5 degree in the southern hemisphere. Now there are three heat zones of the earth: torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Torrid means very hot. It is the hottest zone on the earth. It lies between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The area between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is the torrid zone, which is the hottest zone on the earth. Why it is hottest? Because of the vertical or you can say direct rays of the sun. The rays of the sun fall directly on this region. So this region experiences very high temperature. India lies largely in this region. Now next is temperate zone. Temperate zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, it is called North Temperate Zone, and in the southern hemisphere, it is called South Temperate Zone. These regions have very moderate temperature. They have less heat as compared to the torrid zone. Moderate temperature means neither too hot nor too cold. Now the next zone is frigid zone. Frigid means very cold. This zone lies between the Arctic Circle and North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and South Pole in the southern hemisphere. These areas receive very slanting rays of the sun and so experiences extreme cold throughout the year. The area between Arctic Circle and North Pole is known as North Frigid Zone, and the area between Antarctic Circle and South Pole is known as South Frigid Zone. Now children, from this picture we can easily see that how the rays of the sun fall directly on the equator, and they make this torrid zone the hottest zone. And due to the slanting rays at the poles, here the rays of the sun are falling slanting, so frigid zone always remain cold. So dear children, this is all about parallels of meridian, parallels, and then what are the important parallels of meridian, and what are the different heat zones on the earth. We have learned about all these things in this video. In our next video, we will learn what are the meridians of longitudes and how meridians of longitudes help us in locating places also and in calculating time also. So thank you.